One thing you've probably heard me mention in my videos is boobs. Dump months, usually in relation to movie release dates. But as I was grunting and straining away on the toilet the other day and cursing my local Indian takeaway, it occurred to me that not everyone knew what the hell I was even talking about. What exactly are dump months? Why do they happen? And why are they so important for movies? Well, let's embark on a little journey of discovery together, shall we? Broadly speaking, dump months are specific months of the year when the box office prospects for films in general are, well, pretty limited for a bunch of reasons that I'll get into shortly. And because no studio wants to waste their best movies by releasing them at a bad time of year, it's usually a convenient time to offload those projects that didn't exactly live up to expectations and wouldn't be able to compete during the summer movie season. Most of the time they're released with very limited marketing push and almost no publicity, because what's the point in wasting money trying to push a movie you know is going to flop? And so, if a movie happens to come out during a dump month, it's a sure sign the studio knows they've got a fucking stinker on their hands and is just doing the bare minimum to get it out there so they can wash their hands of it. Now, there's 4 main dump months of the year: January, February, and August, September. January is by far the worst of the bunch and also the most obvious. The weather's cold and dark most of the time, everyone's broke after the holiday season, depressed at going back to work, and probably trying to lose those extra pounds they gained over Christmas. Hey, those pigs in blankets weren't going to eat themselves, you know. Add all this stuff together and the result is that nobody has the time, money, or energy to drive to their movie theatre and part with their hard-earned cash to watch some shitty movie for a couple of hours. It's much the same story with February, which I'm fully convinced is the actual worst month of the year. The weather's still cold and dark most of the time, there's nothing much to look forward to, the festive season is a distant memory, but spring is still a long way off, and everyone's thoroughly pissed off with winter by that point. I mean, you'd think that with Valentine's Day right in the middle of the month, it would be a good time to release a few rom-coms at least, but even that seems to have dried up. I guess because romantic relationships are considered problematic these days. March and April are where things finally start to pick up. The weather's improving, people have paid off those Christmas credit card bills, and generally everyone's starting to feel a bit more lively and motivated to go out and do stuff. And after all those months of winter boredom, one thing they're usually pretty happy to do is go see some movies. This is when the big studios tend to release their middle-of-the-road movies, the ones they hope are going to do well and usually put a decent bit of marketing money behind, but they know probably can't compete with the big summer releases. It's a kind of spring movie season, a little appetizer before the main event, which starts in May. Traditionally, the summer movie season kicks off on Memorial Day weekend, but over the past decade or so, it's been brought forward to the first weekend in May, mostly by Marvel if I'm honest. They tend to release their first big movie at the start of the month, and from then until the end of July, it really doesn't let up. And that brings us along to our second dump period, August to September. Now, this one probably seems a bit unintuitive because August is still a summer month. The weather's great and the schools are out, so why wouldn't you keep releasing big blockbusters right until the end of the month? Well, this is where things get a bit more complicated, so stick with me. For a start, August is when Americans tend to go off on family vacations, so there's already fewer people around to watch movies. Kids are gearing up for the new school year, where they'll be spending most of their days locked in stuffy classrooms, so the prospect of spending their afternoons locked in stuffy movie theatres suddenly doesn't seem quite so appealing. Generally, they want to make the most of what's left of the summer holidays, and that means spending time outside. And lastly, there's a kind of movie fatigue that sets in by August, a feeling that the best days have already come and gone. The summer movie season's been going for 3 months by that point, everyone's getting a bit tired of big popcorn flicks, and so there's this weird atmosphere of a party that's winding down. And nobody wants to be part of that. Add all this shit together and August becomes a pretty unwelcoming month for movie studios, even if it seems like it should be. The result? This is where they tend to dump the stuff that didn't quite make the cut for the summer movie season, also known as the August dumping grounds. It's not quite as bad as January and February, but if you see a movie with an August release date, it's a pretty sure sign that the studio had no real confidence in it. September is the last of the dump months. Summer's coming to an end, the schools are back in, and for most people it's it's a time to get out of holiday mode and back to the grind of work and routine, none of which really encourages them to go to the movies. It's also a month that has no natural genre that fits with it. October is horror season, obviously, November is when all the pretentious Oscar bait movies get released, and December is where all the big holiday releases come out, but September really has nothing to recommend it. As a result, just like August, it's where the last dregs of the disappointing film projects get dumped. Now, the argument that always springs up around dump months like these is the chicken and the egg question. Do studios release crap movies in dump months because they know people don't go to the cinema? Or do people not go to the cinema during dump months because that's when studios release all their crap movies? Maybe it's a bit of both. Either way, I might be telling you stuff that you already know here, or maybe you've learned a thing or two from this video. And I don't normally do this, but if you're interested in seeing other videos about how the film industry works, well, let me know in the comments and I'll see what I can do. Anyway, that's all I've got for today. Go away now.